Today's conversation is sponsored by First Generation Capital Partners. If you're an accredited investor and you want to know about how we're helping other accredited investors keep more of their income, go to firstgencp.com/going long.
You're listening to the Going Long podcast with Billy Keels, the #1 podcast for long-distance real asset investing.
Welcome back once again to the Going Long podcast. We're here to help you feel much more comfortable as well as confident investing beyond your backyard. And yep, I'm Billy Keels, and we're back for another solo episode. I know that I'm enjoying this. I really trust that you are getting a lot out of these conversations. I guess not conversations, are more monologues, which makes it feel a little bit weird for me, but the goal is that it's adding value for you. You're getting the strategy that you're looking for and the different tactical actions that you can take to really start to move closer towards your goals. And today's conversation is going to be no different. We're going to tackle one of the things that I've actually seen, I've noticed a lot, and hopefully it's going to help you to get unstuck and start to get more closer to your goals much faster. And that is really, we're going to tackle the subject of, when is the right time to start investing? And we're going to do that. But I want to make sure that we continue to highlight our wonderful, honest written reviews as well as ratings. Once again, you're getting this in front of tens of thousands of people in 30 different countries. And being a part of the Going Long family is really special. And so I want to make sure that we're recognizing you. And so today's review comes from Podcast Life 23. And it says, thoughtful, valuable, and transformational. Billy has an uncanny ability to make his guests feel comfortable and respected to the point where his conversations bring out incredible value. His level of preparation and genuinely kind heart create enjoyable and transformational discussions. Anyone looking to up their real estate game long-term, wherever they are physically located, should be tuning in to this phenomenal podcast. It's actually from our buddy Tyler Chesser. So actually Tyler was on episode 209. So if you haven't heard that, go to check out episode 209. I really appreciate that. And once again, Tyler, appreciate the comment and you leaving that honest written review. It's a great way to show, well, listen, I'm gonna recognize your name. You leave that in your signature and your honest written review as well as rating, and we'll share that across the globe. So really appreciate that. And once again, if you have not had the opportunity to leave your honest written review, you want to do that, take just a couple seconds and you can be just like Tyler here. I'll share that with everyone across the globe in the 30 countries and the more the countries that we're growing into. So, but I do want to come back to this whole topic of when is the right time to begin investing? Because you may be here today and you may be thinking to yourself, well, you know what? I've been thinking about doing this. I don't come from a family where I really had a lot of money. We didn't talk about money. And so I feel really comfortable, and you probably do feel very comfortable because your bank account continues to go up and up and up. At the same time, you recognize that if you have that in a savings account, they're maybe giving you 1%. You also recognize, at least what they're telling you, is that the inflation is about 9%. I'm going to guess it's probably a little bit more than that, especially if you've been to the gas pump anytime recently. But you recognize that if inflation is at 9% and your money is growing at 1%, even though it's sitting in the bank and you have access to it, well, that's a negative 8% return. And you recognize in your stomach that something's not right, which is probably one of the reasons that you're also here. And so the thing that makes me think about, there's this quote, and you may have heard this, maybe you haven't. If you haven't, it's great because it goes very similar to this question of when is the right time to invest. The quote says, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time is now. So think about this. If you've not been investing, the problem that you're having today is you're probably feeling very stuck. You're not moving. You recognize things are moving faster around you, growing more than your money is growing, and you don't know where to start. For whatever reason, you feel stuck. We've talked about some of the ways that you can get clearer on that. We talked about that in episode 229, as well as then took it and allowed you to get not just find the destination, but recognize what are the right vehicles for you in episode 231. So you may want to go back there because they are going to help you even with this conversation. Because what we don't want you to do is feel stuck, feel uncomfortable, and not know where to start. That's what these conversations are about. These conversations are about helping you to move forward, to take action so that you can get to your goal much faster. But see, the thing is, when you don't take action and you're feeling stuck, part of that is you're recognizing that you are missing out on an opportunity. When I was in the corporate life, we talked about opportunity cost, meaning that every day, every year that goes by, when your money is growing at 1% and inflation is growing at 9, 10, or maybe even more percent, that is costing you. It means it's going to take you, you're going to have to work longer to get to whatever that destination is for you. And what we don't want to happen for you is that it takes you much longer to get there because you've just been stuck or frozen and not taking any action at all. So when you find it difficult to calculate how long something could take, it also can cause some frustration. It can cause you to not take action. It can cause you to kind of freeze, especially if you're like me, like you like to have clear outcomes, clear timelines, and things like that. But if you don't start, you don't know when you're going to end, because by definition, you have to start something in order to finish it. If you don't start, well, you're just kind of waiting. And we don't want that, because I don't want you to feel lost. I don't want you to feel insecure. What I want you to be able to do is gain clarity to be able to take action. And today, the thing that I want to talk to you about, this very simple action that you can take, is going to seem very counterintuitive. I already know that up front. Even though it seems counterintuitive, this is something that I myself have done. It's one of the things that helped me to be able to gain the clarity that I needed, so that by the time I was in my late 40s, was able to leave the corporate life and not have to worry about going back. Being able to build the type of life that I don't need to retire from anymore. And I want the same for you. For many years, I would continue to go into my corporate job because I enjoyed it. I didn't need to go there. And that may be your case as well. But that was only because I knew that I started taking action. And for almost a decade, I was making investments in different vehicles. Those different vehicles are what allowed me to have the confidence and the comfort level to be able to realize that retiring in my late 40s was something that's going to be okay. Like I said, today's tactical action is going to be very counterintuitive. It works. So here's the thing. You want to be able to define the goal, right? And we talked about that in conversation 229. And in that conversation, we said, hey, listen, one of the goals that we used as an example is you want to be able to retire from corporate life, or not make the decision whether you want to go there or not in your 40s. Well, here's what's going to seem a bit counterintuitive, but it's going to help you to feel more comfortable and know exactly when the right time for you to invest is. It's going to create the motion that you need. And although I asked you to put an hour to the side and write down that goal, and you wrote down that goal, which was, retire in your 40s, and we use that as an example, what I now want you to do is I want you to go 2 or 3 levels deeper. I know you're thinking, well, how can I go 2 or 3 levels deeper, Billy? Well, here's the goal. Let me give you a very specific example. We're going to go the same example from conversation in episode 229. You said that you wanted to retire in your 40s. So now I want you to just kind of twist it one time, because in your 40s, you may say that that's today you're 35 or today you're 30, but retiring in your 40s, does that mean 42 or does that mean 49? I want you to turn it one level. I want you to get a bit more specific. And then when you say you want to retire when you're 42 or 49 or 48 or whatever the case may be, but there's a difference. I hope you can feel the difference between 49 and 42. That's 7 years. And so that means that you are going to need to make decision in terms of whatever your destination is. That first turn is starting to help you. You're going to want to turn it one more time. For instance, you're going to retire in your 40s or 42 or 49 so that you can attend each one of your son's ballet matches or ballets, or your daughter's sporting event, whatever the case may be. You've turned it a little bit more, because now you're recognizing not only do you want to retire at 42, but you want to retire at 42 so that you can actually attend all of these special events. And you're doing that so that, turn it one more time so that you're feeling fulfilled, because that's one of the things that are really important to you. So this getting really specific about what it is that you want to be able to achieve, accomplish, the goal, the dream, that's going to help you recognize that, okay, do I need to take action? Do you need to take action today? Because that's the best time to plant the tree. And that could mean getting more educated, reaching out to people, understanding what the specific vehicle is, but get more specific. 40 in your 40s to 42, so that you can attend these events, because that's going to make you feel more fulfilled as an individual. Get that specific, because that's going to help you in terms of being able to make the decision and when is the right time for you to start to invest. Like I said, they said that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time is today. So hopefully this is giving you, once again, very tactical thing. But I see a lot of people struggle with this. This is one of the things that I like to talk to and share with other people. And my hope for you is that it's going to help you to, once again, to start to take action. And so I know this is a bit more work. So while you're doing that, I'm going to be here and I'm going to be preparing for the next conversation. And I know that those of you who are accredited investors and you want to find out more about these different vehicles, or specifically one of the vehicles that we're helping high wage earners today and being able to keep more of their returns and generate consistent future returns. If you want to find out more about that, just go to firstgencp.com/going long. We have a nice little guide there. We'll tell you more about it. And listen, I'm going to be here and preparing the next conversation. So until then, go out and make it a great day. And thank you very much. Trust that you enjoyed today's conversation. And once again, today's conversation was sponsored by First Generation Capital Partners. If you're an accredited investor and want to find out more about how we're helping accredited investors to gain their personal freedom even faster, go to firstgencp.com/going long.